Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of Mr. and Mrs. Ntaborwa. Man, the comments have been killing me. People have been like, where is part 2? Where is part 2? Anyway, we are back with part 2. And it's quite an interesting story. Still, the topic is life after divorce and remarrying, that whole journey. What it feels for a man, how it affects him, if they had children, how it affects the children. We got to know all that. Now, in part 2, we're just going to ask Jesse just a few more questions about his life and the lessons he has learned. Then we'll talk to his wife, Pesh. They've been married for a year and a couple of months, and get to know her perspective. Now, Jesse,
Yes.
what has been your perspective on love and relationships over time? Mostly after you going through divorce.
Wow, that's another deep one.
Make it
Be a
short.
long one. Need to make it short.
Yes.
But the perspective on that is that it has been for me that it's real life. It's love and relationships are real life, involving real people that have souls that want to have a chance at love, what love is, you know. So for me, the perspective has always been and continues to be that as a person, whether a man or a woman, when you say you love someone, you need to define that, and to the extent that you ask yourself this question before you tell another person that you love them. Do you mean what you say, and do you say what you mean? Because again, love is not a feeling that we feel. There are feelings involved, but it's more of the commitment that we are making to the person. That when you say I love you, you're making a commitment to love this person through it all, whether things are good or bad.
Or bad.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if
Yeah,
that makes some
it
sense.
makes a lot of sense. And yeah, it really makes a lot of sense. The other thing is, Jesse, what is that misconception people have about your remarriage? Or even that misconception people have about remarriage?
Yes. That's a deep one. That's a deep one, and especially with my Christian brothers and sisters. It's deep because I was also there. Like I said, dogma. The misconceptions are many.
Yeah.
There are scriptures that are quoted that, you know, when you're divorced, you should never marry again.
But when you're divorced, when you divorced and you marry again, you've committed sin.
Adultery and all these things that I believe, again, the church has not helped. They're mostly in the church. And I'm not attacking church.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. I love God. I don't want to compare with anyone, but I do. But I believe that there's something missing in the church, that when people are going through marriage issues, for example, or people are going through separation, because those things, I don't know what camera is facing me, but this one,
Yes.
when you're married, when you get married, you will face issues. It's not all a bed of roses. Okay? They will be there. But I think that the church is where most of the misconceptions are. For example, you know, divorces. It's like you've gotten leprosy. You know, there was a disease a long time ago.
Yeah, I know leprosy.
Where you become white, and you know you all. It's like you've failed in life.
Yeah.
And there's no life after you. And I don't know whether it's in the teachings of the church. I don't know what it is, but somehow you're treated in a certain way that is not good. Yet at that point, you need the church. You need Jesus. You need that comfort. You need that help, that support. So for someone to come and say, "Hey, what would Jesus do if he was here? He would pick you up and walk with you, even at the most painful point." So the misconception that when you're divorced, that's it, you will never be successful, you're done in life, is so wrong. And And I would say that that is there because I think the church doesn't want to encourage divorces for people to think, oh, when I'm divorced, there's life after I can blast it. It's not to justify that. But when it happens, and it has happened, it's a reality, I believe there should be enough support for the two people who have gone through it by the church and friends and people around to help them navigate. So that misconception of life is finished, you're done, is totally wrong. Yeah,
it's wrong.
Because this is still a human being that needs support, that needs, needs uplifting and all that.
And the other thing, going back to your children, how has your marriage with Pesh impacted on your relationship with your children?
I've had to be, I would call it extra careful.
Yeah.
With the things I say. I've had to be more cautious, especially when they're at home with us. I'm very careful at how they respond to Pesh. Even how Pesh responds to them. As much as she loves them, I know she does, but you're still there as a father. You're like, okay, they're real moms. So, when there's conflict, how are they dealing with it? Of course, I'm always on the side of, not on the side, that sounded wrong, but I'm always about the mom. This is your mom, you have to respect her. You still continue teaching those things to your children, but the relationship is more sensitive. You're more careful.
Yeah,
I think that's where it has led me to being very intentional with them, asking them questions, just seeing how they relate with everyone at home, because I don't want them to ever be in a place where they feel they're not at home, or they feel that I, as a father, am more focused on my wife and my other children, and not them. They feel not part of the family. So it has made me more sensitive to them, to have a keen eye on them as I raise them.
And what is that greatest lesson you learned from your first marriage?
The greatest lesson, like I said, I'm still learning, but it's to love unconditionally.
Yeah.
Yes.
To love unconditionally.
It's a very deep word. Like I've been saying, love the person unconditionally. Even when you wake up one day and you're like, I'm still waking up with the same face. And the filter is off.
Yeah.
You love them. You love them.
Okay. Pesh, when you told your parents you're getting married, and did you first tell them that the person you're getting married to has been married before?
So I'm closer to my mom.
Oh, yeah.
I am closer to my mom. So she had met him before we even decided to get married.
Yeah.
She had met him. They are friends. Yeah. They are friends. She knew the story. She knew. She knew. So I didn't have to tell her. She already knew.
She already knew.
Yes.
Oh, she knew it from church.
Yes, because again, she had met him.
Oh.
And my mom is she's very intentional. She's very active in our lives. So even when we bring our friends around, my friends now should know that my mom knows everything, all the stories. But yes, she likes to know, okay, so who's this person? Now you're always talking about Jesse. Who is Jesse? What does Jesse do? What happened? All those things. So she knew the story. I didn't have to tell her when we were getting married.
Oh. And she was okay with it?
She got to know him as a person.
Oh, yeah.
So the story didn't influence whether she would accept him or not.
Or not.
Yeah. She had gotten to know him as a person, and she loved him as a person, as a son. So, yeah.
Even before.
Even before. Yeah.
Very serious,
So what are some of those healthy boundaries you've established to protect your own emotional well-being? Have you ever been caught up in a situation whereby him and the ex-wife are, let's say, having like let's say like they're pulling the ropes, and let's say you're caught up in the crossfire, and how have you been able to establish such relationships for your own emotional well-being as a wife, as his current wife?
Okay, we have come to the part of deep questions. I think for me, the main thing is communication. Communication. Yes, we try and communicate. Where if you're mad, say that you're mad. If you're happy and say that you're happy. So it's mostly communication between her and I, between him and her, between him and I. There's a lot of communication, and I think for me that's what has helped up to this point. Yeah, it's communication.
Wow. Are there some unresolved issues you feel like at times come up from his previous marriage that get to affect you somewhere, somehow?
That's a hard one. I think that, again, okay, so here's the thing. When I met Jesse, from the very beginning, I chose not to see him as a divorced man. I chose to see him as Jesse, as a person. Yeah. So there's never been a time I'm thinking, now this is because even in his last marriage he didn't do this. Or now he's acting like this because even last time he didn't do it. I chose to see him as an individual. So where I see an issue, I try not to think, oh, now it's because he also now went through something. No. If there's an issue, we deal with it as here and now. This is the issue. Okay. I'm not going to go and now start linking it to and which relationship. So the issues that we get, and we do get them, we deal with them as here and now individually. You
do not tie it to...
No, I don't go linking it to what happened before. Maybe now this is why he's acting like... No.
Yeah. Okay.
Because again, I chose from the beginning, it was a decision I made to see him as Jesse. Not as a divorced man.
Perfect. Yes. And I think that's what every man would need in their life, an understanding partner.
Yes.
Very, very understanding. I'm glad you've been understanding to him. And one of the last questions I'm going to ask, did church play a role in trying to help the situation?
Like I said, church did try to help the situation of my previous marriage before. Like I said, I was fully active in the church. I was full time, and most of my leaders or the people that I was serving with were my good friends beyond the church, things. I knew them individually. We had done school together. We had done life together. Okay, not best friends, but friends. We wanted good for each other. So at the start, when of course divorce doesn't happen instantly, it started the separation. Within the separation time, my friends, the pastors, the leaders, really helped. They were trying to encourage and try to bring things together and help the other person and I to resolve the issue and all that stuff. But I think when divorce officially happens, that's when the issues now begin, because once it was formal and official that the divorce was done and final, then it's like, okay, now Jess is divorced. We can't,
we can't associate with him.
You stay there. You can't serve anymore. You can't do this. You can't be a leader here. Just be, like I said, you almost feel like you're a stranger. you're a leper now. Just be on the side. And I think again, that's not, that's not necessary really, or it's not something that someone needs at that time. But again, like I said, even when that happened and I had to leave the thing that I loved doing the most, which is be in charge, serve people, and do all that stuff. I had to realize that that's how churches are. That's what happens. And I had to not be bitter at the church. That was also another temptation that I went through. Bitter at the people, bitter at the church, but man, you know what's been happening, now you have to be there like that. No. So when I was pulled off, I had to stay connected. I had to ask God to help me to connect and to continue talking to these people, understanding that they are human beings, they are leaders, they are church leaders and pastors and all these things. But they have rules they work with, and I am now out of the rules, So that helped me stay in touch with them. We're not in touch as much, but we try. Once in a while, I will ask. I want to mention names here, but I do, and I really respect what they're doing. I commend them. I prefer, because I've been there. I served for what? 18 years of my life. I was in full-time ministry, serving. So I understand what the challenges they are. But again, I believe that certain things can be done better, which is a conversation that's going into now. How do you treat someone who is divorced in the church? Because many churches don't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
So for me, the support was there during the separation time, but after the divorce, now peace.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Peace out.
We shall be friends, but you go sort yourself. Figure out things. So yeah.
And after remarrying, did you continue with the friendship over? It was still the same thing.
This is a church thing again. Many churches don't allow remarriage, as you know. In fact, we struggle to get a church or a pastor or people that would say, you know what, we can remarry, because most churches will say no, we don't allow remarriage and things like that. So even after remarriage as well, it's a careful relationship, Jesse. Of course, like I said, some churches, not all, okay, some, because again, once I left my previous church, I served at another church. I won't mention its name. And these other people as well were very supportive.
Wow.
They understood who I was. They supported me. They gave me a platform to continue the thing that I loved doing the most, which was ministry, serving people, and all that stuff. Even though I'm not there now, but again, some churches know how to take care of people like us who have been divorced and are remarried and all that.
Yeah.
Others struggle.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. So I'm still in touch. You try and be in touch with as many people, and you respect their worldview, their understanding of these things. But because I am here in it now, maybe if I wasn't divorced and remarried, maybe I would also still think the same. Divorce, how do you handle?
Yeah.
But I'm here, it has happened to me.
It has happened to me, now you are in.
Now I can understand. I can understand.
I get it.
If someone comes and they're going through divorce, or they're divorced, or they're separate, going through, I know exactly what they're going through.
Perfect.
Yeah.
In one word, as we are concluding,
yes,
one or two words, actually, two words. Any advice to a person who has been divorced or is divorced and they are seeking to remarry?
One word.
One word, okay.
I would say that take your time.
Yeah.
Don't rush into remarrying. Let me just start by saying, if you're just going through a difficult time in your marriage and you're separated, or things are not working at home, seek help. If it comes to the extent of, do whatever it is, first within you. If it fails within reconciling between you, get your, why people have best men and matron and all these things. I hope you choose mature people that you can call on and say, hey, man, things are tough. We need help here. Of course, that's the next step. The first step always is, you know, I keep telling people that when they were not there when me and Pesh were vibing.
They were not there.
Yeah, even mom, her best friend, my friend, she wasn't there. So when you have conflict and you run to friends and what and all these things, you first deal with it. This is for the separated people. Deal with the issues, and then if you're going through divorce before you remarry, please deal with yourself. Work on yourself as much as you can. Of course, we're constantly working on ourselves, but deal with the issues that you're going through. Divorce, like I said, is like death, but death hasn't happened. You know, so there's a lot of emotional pain that you have to deal with. First, deal with it before you go and get someone's daughter and start, you know, bleeding on them, so to say. First, try and heal as much as possible. Yeah. You know, and take your time. Don't rush into remarrying, because marriage is not a solution to pain, to this, you know, to emotional healing. It's not. Because that person you're marrying is also needing your emotional support and help. So you have to come when you as whole as you can and get into that. But most importantly, I'm a Christian. Trust God. Trust God all the way, because you can never know everything. Like I said, no one is a master. We can only share experiences, but God will help us love someone else more than we love ourselves, so to say.
So it's all about trusting God.
Trust God and take your time. And for the young people who are not yet married, please, take your time. You know, don't. I hear people say, marry when you're young. You know,
Marry when you're young.
You're young. You know, you have this sexual word. You know, don't go around sleeping out. No, just marry and have one. No. Marriage is not a solution to lust. If you're lustful, or you lust is when you want to, you know,
satisfy yourself.
It's a different matter.
Okay.
Even when you're married, you will still have lust. You know? So take your time, young people, especially men. A man, build yourself first.
Yeah.
You're a provider. You're bringing someone to your home to provide for her. Even if she has a job that earns 100 million and you earn 100,000, you are the provider. If you're not yet ready to provide and take care of a family, just build yourself. There's no need to rush.
Okay.
The right person will wait, or you will find them.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Pesh, advice to girl child out there seeking to get married.
Generally seeking to get married, or specifically
in this situation?
a similar situation.
Yeah. Or they are caught up in that situation and they are confused, but they love this person.
Yes. First of all, seek God.
Seek God.
About your situation. Ultimately, there is nothing we can do on our own. We can't do anything without God. I mean, we're not going to be successful. So talk to God. What is he saying? What if you're also just going, it's lust? Because the man... See, the thing is, okay, I don't know if there are many, but I've seen that there are girls who are excited when they meet a man who's already
Rich.
May not be rich, but who's already established on a certain level. So you meet him and you're like, now at least he's not like a young man who's going to stress me. He already also wants to get married. No. Seek God. What is God saying to you about that situation? Yeah. But also get to know the story. Why is he divorced? Why is he separated? And then after that, make your own decision. If you choose to go ahead, even knowing the story, you still want to be with the person. See, like I said, for me, I chose to see him as him. I am not saying ignore the fact that he has been divorced, but when you keep looking at him, imagine if every time there's an issue, I keep saying, even in his first marriage, this is what happened. It's going to keep holding you back. Yeah. So seek God, get to know the story, and then make your own decision. See him as a person, before you see him as a divorced or a father or all these other things, because all those other things come after who is he as a person.
As a person.
Yes.
Wow, this was really, really very, very powerful, and it was quite an insightful discussion. If we had more time, man, we would continue. But first of all, thank you so much, Jesse, for accepting to come. Thank you so much, Pesh, for loving him for him and seeing him for him. Jesse, thank you so much for loving her, providing for her, and also thank you so much for being a good father. And Madam, I would also want to thank you. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for being a good mother to the boys. Thank you, despite whatever happened. Despite whatever happened, you've stayed a good mom.
Yes.
You stay in good communication with their dad.
Yeah.
You're even friends to his wife, and there is no altercation, because there are women who will cause a couple. But I want to thank you so much. I know you, and God bless you. God bless you. And to anyone in such a situation, please seek God, like they have said.
Yeah.
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 In one word, look at each other. Assure each other. One word, just tell him what you feel. One word, Besh, before we go. One word.
One word. I love you.
Just say one word.
3 words.
There are 3 words. I love it.
Perfect. Yeah. This is Tiger, not make a romantic. Michika, thank you so much for watching. This is a show where we bring you powerful stories that give you a different perspective about marriage, and we teach you. Like, you get to learn from these stories. So it's you to choose whether to learn something or not. But I'm glad that you are all learning something. Keep liking, subscribe, share. Till next time.